shit, what you been looking at? This dude is weird. Let's just start with that. He's weird. And he has a choice in cocktails that most of us don't use, okay? And he really thinks that going to Mars is a good thing. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, and I'm gonna bring the camera in close. Let me bring the camera in close for this. Leave Mars alone, please. Mars ain't shit on Mars. Ain't no Walmart, ain't no gas stations up there. There's no reason to be on Mars. Have you been to Cabo? Like, why is he so focused on Mars? What the hell is going on Mars? Now, I'm gonna tell you about Mars, right? I'm on some, yeah, I would never go. Most people that I'm around say that, but a friend of mine and I had a conversation. He said, you know what? We might not go, but imagine if they took some people out there, like they won a trip to Mars, right? And people went out there on basically like a cruise, but they went to Mars and came back and said, yo, Mars is lit. Would people not go? And I said to him, you know what? Yes, people would go. So I don't put it past us as the Earth people to go to Mars, but we ain't all going. Some of us are going to keep our happy asses right here on the planet, and you can just show us the pictures when you get back. Because I grew up in an era where there were certain movies that came out that you never forget certain scenes, and there was a movie called Total Recall, the first one, not the one with what's that cat's name with the brown hair, the dark hair. I can't think of his name. Not the newer one. It's the old one with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it and them guys. And there was a dome on Mars, and the oxygen, when you went outside, your head would basically explode. So if the dome didn't work, so somebody cracked the dome, everybody was dying, they didn't have air, it was a bad scene. Then there were some people that lived in places that had bad like filters, and they ended up with mutations and all that. You think that was a game? Stay the hell off of Mars, man. Let's fix this first. Please. The billions of dollars that it'll take to get to Mars, I could find 20 small businesses that could be opened up for urban and smaller, lower income communities that could, places that have food deserts, things like that. We could take that money, put it right into the world that we actually live in. So let's hold them accountable for that kind of shit. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. How can I justify, like if I only have a certain amount of money, how do I justify spending a bunch of billions when my people hungry? When my people are starving, or who I call my people? And if my people have a vote, they're going to say, nah, man, screw Mars. I want a nicer house and not have to pay a bunch of money for bacon and shit, right? So let's be honest. Forget the hand gesture. Forget about Mars. Mars is expensive. Somebody got to pay for that. Then there's got to be people out there, and you already know what's going to happen. One of the damn ships going to explode. People going to be hurt or die. And then what? Then we got to pay their families a couple $1 million and all types of stuff. Well, not we, but somebody going to have to pay their families a bunch of money. And for what? To go to Mars. You know what? You can just give me a trip to Jamaica for a week. I'm cool with that. I don't need to go to Mars. Mars don't have no indoor, outdoor pools. It doesn't have no, like, nothing. Ain't no restaurants there. So that means the first people got to go up there and build shit. And that's one last thing I wanted to tell y'all about that. That's why I said I wanted to have a conversation about Mars, is because as much as I think it's a stupid idea, that's just me. But my boy and I was talking, and he said, yo, if you get, you know, some people and offer them, let's say $150,000 US, throw them on a ship, you know, put them through a little training program with the spinning gyro thing and all that for about 3 weeks or whatever, and tell them they got to go up to Mars to like dig the foundational holes for the first structures that'll be out there, right? And you give them a whole spiel about how they're going to be the creators and the founders of the new world, and you just build their heads up, and you tell them, we'll give you $150,000 for 3 months. That's $50,000 a month. Now, most people don't make $5,000 a month, let alone $50,000 a month. So imagine they came to people with that deal and said, no, we'll train you for it. We'll make sure you got all the safety precautions. And if something happens to you, we'll give your family all this money. You think people won't take that deal? And when he told me that, when my boy said that to me, I was like, yo, I can see I might not take that deal because I'm perfectly fine here. But there's plenty of people who would be like, you know what? I ain't doing nothing here. I can go dig some holes for 3 months with an astronaut suit on. I always wanted to go to outer space when I was a kid. And before you know it, we'll have the American people cheering on that first group of folks that'll go up there. But you know who's going to really need to be up there first? The same people that Trump's trying to deport right now. That's who that deal would go very quickly for. You could put a whole pack of them on a joint. They'll be, all right, we'll do it. So don't be surprised when that happens. And if you want to be honest about it, if you really want to be honest about it, it's not that crazy of an idea if you really put rationale behind it. People are out here struggling, and you make them a promise like that, they're going to take that. Like I said, I might not take it, but I wouldn't fault somebody who would because they're trying to provide for their family. So watch when a couple of folks come back from Mars, talk about, yo, Mars was lit. Then watch. Y'all going to be, book the trip. You see what I'm saying? But just, folks, can we stay here first and just do us here and then get us together here? And then once we get us together here, I'm not even going to say then let's go to Mars. Let's just stay the hell away from Mars. Like, what's the big deal about Mars? There's nothing there. Nothing. You got to be high to just want to go to Mars just because it's there. I want to go to Mars because it's there. Why? Because it's there? That's the people that went to go see the Titanic. You just want to go down there because it's down there. It serves no real purpose to your life, but it can serve a purpose to your death. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Hey, thanks for jumping in the chat. Jeff Kendall, Dylan Neighbors, A Doggo, Sandra Wells. I see y'all in here. I'm sorry, I was getting into my talking, but I like Mega. Make Earth great again. That's cool. Can we do that? I'm cool with that. And I don't care who leads it, to be honest. But if we could just keep it here, please, Elon, let's keep it on the planet, bro. Get the Starlink thing going, because I think Starlink is a cool idea. We can have internet anywhere. That's nice. I'm with that. But I'm not with trying to get anybody to want to go to Mars or get any U.S. funds or taxpayer funds directed to going to Mars. Now, Elon, if you got enough pocket change to create your own little Martian vehicle and you want to go, have at it, my dude. Have fun. Nothing stopping you. You know what I'm saying? But let's not take NASA and start focusing on Mars. Let's just take NASA and let NASA be NASA, yo. Let's go to the moon again. Can we go to the moon and set something up? Why we gotta go all the way to Mars? The moon, like right there. Let's just go to the moon then. And yeah, Neuralink is an interesting idea because what he wants to do is put basically a Google search chip in everybody's head. That's what he wants to do. That's really the Matrix in real life. And that's what Elon wants to do. So, folks, can we just be honest? When a person has money and sometimes they do certain drugs, they have some real lofty ideas, right? It's up to us to bring their ass back to the planet, all right? Because just because you don't listen doesn't mean you won't learn. Elon don't listen, but he gonna learn. Because I'm going to tell you right now, ain't nobody voting for, I don't want to go to Mars. He keep talking about Mars. Who wants to go to Mars? In the chat, anybody, give me a thumbs up right now if you want to go to Mars. If that's something that you're like, before I leave this planet, I got to see Mars. I want to see Mars. Anybody. See? So I'm not putting nothing behind that. If they ask me to sign a petition to say no, I'm going to say absolutely not. Leave Mars alone. Because the first time somebody gets hurt or dies, then we're going to be upset about Mars. Now, I see KJ said he wants to go to Mars. Son, I think if we can stay here. It's cool. How about the moon, though? I'm just saying the moon's a little closer. How about just the moon? I think Mars is a little bit too far. Can't call home. Nothing set up out there. And whether you believe the moon landing or not, nobody's been to Mars. Let's just go for the moon. Let's just to the moon, Alice. Just that. Yeah, and Al Bond in the chat, I hear you can't even smoke on the moon. That's funny. Can't smoke. Can't do nothing. There's nothing to do. There's no parks. There's no dog parks. Nothing. I'm not going to no Mars. But anyway, I'm just going to say this. If we have the surplus financially to invest in going to other planets, then great. But until we deal with what's going on here on Earth, I ain't got no money for that, yo. See what I'm saying? And we can stand on that. There's nothing wrong with feeling like that. Like, I feel you. It sounds fun. I'd ride to the moon and back and spin the block. Okay, let the first craft that goes up there explode and then see how you feel. That's why ain't nobody really been out there since the damn Challenger. Don't nobody want to go up there and not come back. And there's always a testing phase. So yes, we can have the lofty idea, but who wants to go first? That's the question. Do you want to go first? You might want to go, but do you want to be the first one to go? You want to be the first one? Or you want to give them a chance to test the systems out before you become part of the population up there? That's me. I'm not saying that, you know, being in the craft and spinning the block doesn't sound cool, but I fly airplanes and I'm paranoid. You see what I'm saying? And those are just, they still here. And when I fly in an airplane and just think, man, if anything goes wrong, this is a problem. I would freak out in a little ass tube up in outer space. I would freak out. And if you put me in a little dome, I'd freak out in the dome too. So I'd rather be down here and be able to be buried, you know, by my family if something happens than, you know, being up there and just turn into space dust. Because that's pretty much what happens. I'm just saying, just me personally, but there's plenty of people in the population. So I'm saying there would be no limit or no limitation to finding people to do it. I'm just saying me personally and a lot of people in the chat, but I see some people in the chat like, yeah, I go spin the block. Yeah, I go do this. Yeah, I go do that. So, hey, they'd find some folks to do it. So we'll see what they do. But if we could just please, if we get the opportunity and we're looking at things being taken care of here in America versus putting billions into a rocket to go to Mars right now, I just think we got bigger fish to fry, as they say. I know my man Bravo would say